It's time for us to open the lines to hear your thoughts about if your DISCO is doing a good job with electricity supply, especially in your area. Electricity supply in Nigeria remains one of the most pressing challenges facing the country's development and industrial growth. For years, Nigerians have endured erratic power supply despite the unbundling and privatization of Power Holding Company of Nigeria (PHCN) in 2013, which gave rise to 11 electricity distribution companies, DISCOs. These companies were expected to drive efficiency, investment and service delivery in the power sector. However, many DISCOs have failed to meet performance targets, resulting in persistent load shedding, power metering, high estimated billing, and customer dissatisfaction. And now I know that a lot of Nigerians watching right now will agree that all that I just mentioned is actually what is happening for decades now. We've seen how many times gridlock, the grid has fallen, collapsed, and we've been counting, sometime early this year when we kept bringing, people talk about electricity when we kept having, we're not having power supply for weeks and months, and I'm sure a lot of areas have not seen light for more than 2-3 months up until this moment. Probably it was damaged due to one thing or the other. It could be the rain, it could be maybe transformers. One thing or the other has actually led to that, and people are still getting bills to pay for power supply that they are not even seeing. Well, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, and the Bureau of Public Enterprise have in some cases taken decisive actions, including revoking licenses of underperforming DISCOs. Notably, in July 2022, the federal government restructured 5 DISCOs over issues of insolvency, governance failure, and non-performance. So just yesterday we saw, some group come out to say that the license of, some DISCOs should be revoked because they are not performing, they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. And then this includes the takeover of Ibadan, Kano, Kaduna, Port Harcourt, and Benin DISCOs through coordinated efforts by financial institutions and regulatory authorities. What do you think about this, Maryam, lack of power supply that we keep seeing and we keep facing every day? I mean, to an extent, I would say I've seen a little bit of improvement, but not as much as we expect it to be. What do you have to say about that?
I think it improves every raining season. I don't really know. Maybe they said the heat, there's a way the heat affects the grid. I don't know much about that. But do you notice that every rainy season power supply increases in Nigeria? It does. Honestly, it's not good to lose hope, but ever since I think last 2 weeks, news came out that the villa acquired solar supply to power the electricity in the villa. Yeah, which I feel my spirit was so down. It's needed, but
because they are paying a lot of money, more than, I think the last time we checked is more than billions, more than 10 billion that is being paid just to power the villa. So if they are acquiring that, is to cut down on the amount of money that they spend just to power the villa.
But in another light, does that really mean there's no hope for electricity in Nigeria?
Well, there is. That's what we're talking about. Well, don't forget to join us on this conversation because we are here for you. And also, as you call in, don't forget to stay away from your TV screens. And then also, if you can't join us, send us WhatsApp message on the first number that is showing on your screen, just so we can pick and hear your opinions on this. Tell us, how are you coping? What are the DISCOs in your area doing? Are they doing the right job? Are they supplying you the necessary power supply that you need? How have you been coping? I mean, let's not forget, you know, with regards to this, when yesterday, or was it on Thursday, when some students were writing their WAEC and they were writing without lights, they were using torchlights to write the exams. When a woman, unknown woman, recorded the students writing the exams, and you know, she was asking what paper they are writing and what have you, just so they will know what course or what subject they are writing and why it came late, because it was supposed to have been at 2 p.m. but it's now, the papers came 6 p.m. Well, we have our first caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Fatima. This is Fatima Yakudima calling from Maiduguri.
Thank you so much for joining us, Fatima Yakudima. How is Borno and how is the rain?
Borno is okay. Borno is waiting for you, Fatima. They want to see their daughter.
Thank you so much. So what's your take? What's the situation like? It's a power supply, and you know, what with regards to what is happening so far?
Honestly speaking, Fatima, the power supply remains as it is, because we are seeing reports. We talk about here in Borno, we have a gas plant. The power supply is partially okay, but not adequately okay. But in other states that we are seeing, they depends on the what do you call it, Greek supply. They are having problems. Nothing changed. And these discos that you are talking about, we don't know that they are just dancing disco, but they are not doing their work. And the attitude remains as it is. If you have problems, if your transformers in that supply your area having problems, it was the consumer that they will tax themselves to rectify or to bring off a transformer. That these things remain as it is. And you see about the ghost figure that they are giving. It is remain as it is, because even if you have been disconnected for 6 months, you have to you must pay that darkness that you have experienced for 6 months. If you have been disconnected, your bill is accumulating. I don't know where they get that charges, that idea. You see, if you have been disconnected, your charge is supposed to be stopped, not billing again, but they will continue billing you. And this thing has to be taken off and do something about it, because it is a clear form of extortion, you know, and also exploitation.
Shatima,
we don't know. We don't. Hello?
Are you paying? Do you have a prepared meter, or you're getting the NEPA bill and you just pay it as you used to be before?
No, I have prepaid meter.
Okay. I
have prepaid meter, and also because the reason why you are hearing my contribution all the times, because I have also solar. We are praying for all Nigerians to get the means of installing solar. That's the only thing that we can push ourselves out, because they are not ready to rectify this problem. Honestly speaking, they are just talking and talking and talking. But there is no action in sincerity.
So do you think the licenses of some of the discos should be revoked?
Honestly speaking, that's the only thing that they can make them to wake up, by revoking their license. Because what they are doing is not even a supply, but they are subjecting people into unnecessary difficulties. They do not give you supply, and they are also collecting your money. You see, that is clear form of extortion and exploitation.
All right.
So, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Shatima.
You're welcome.
I mean, you heard what he said. One of the reasons why he has always been contributing every day, 6 days a week, that we open the phone lines, especially on the Daybreak, for them to also air their opinions and also their dissatisfaction about certain things that affect Nigeria, is because he has solar. So imagine for those that don't have the means to install solar, they have not been calling for a very long time now, because I've noticed, and I've seen where people will just call and say, tell me what you guys are talking about, because they don't have light to see what we are talking about. And even when you tell them, oh, you can actually watch us live on YouTube, because if your phone is big enough to have all these applications, you can actually watch it live. But then still, because they want to be part of this program, they want to contribute, they'll call and say, can you tell me the topic that you're discussing, because they don't have light for months.
In this age and time, Fatima, I can't believe in Nigeria there are centers that actually charges phones for money.
They still do in some communities and some states.
That shouldn't be happening.
Especially in communities where they have not seen light for there are some communities that they have not seen light for
even in Abuja,
more than 10 years.
Even in Abuja. Last week we went for a report and the chief was like lamenting that they don't see light for 3 months. So you can imagine that kind of situation.
And this is even the FCT that we're talking about.
Exactly.
Well, don't forget, you can actually join this conversation and also send us WhatsApp message. If you can't call us on any of the numbers, just make sure you send us WhatsApp message on the first number showing on your screen, and you can actually contribute your quota to this conversation. Tell us how the DISCOs in your area are, working. Are they giving you the value for what you're paying for with regards to electricity? And how did you feel when you saw students writing exams without light? And when we saw the glitches about the results that were released, and for some that was withheld, with regards to also people saying that the system were hacked by hackers, just to distort the exams and results and what have you. And then now that they decided to give the chance for students to resit for the exams, there was no light to write, and then when they fail, they will definitely have to resit again, and the family will have to also struggle to pay for the school fee for that exams in the schools that the children are. What if you are even going to another school to write? You are not even writing your WAEC in the school. You have to maybe go to another school, just like JAMB and what have you.
Lack of electricity in Nigeria has actually destroyed like a lot of things. But I saw a man came out, the JAMB aside, he came out crying and lamenting on Twitter that his wife died because
there was no light.
There was no light.
Hospital.
Yes, they took off the lights when she was in the operating room. There was no fuel in the gen. The hospital do not have solar, and she died. She died just like that. Well, that's so disheartening, honestly.
And also another thing that I think is actually, affecting Nigerians is also lack of prepared meter. And that was why I asked Shatima if he has, prepared meter in his house, because when you're buying the unit, you know how much you're buying, you know what you're using, what amount of light you're consuming in your houses. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Well, fine.
Fine.
Happy weekend to you
Happy
too,
weekend,
Mr. Ade. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much. Ade from London. I was enjoying the program about the DISCO, if they are doing well.
Yes.
To me, let's not isolate them. It has to do with combination of what the government can do in giving them the gas to do their work at the distribution center. It's not about them alone. It's about failure of the government not doing the right thing. So DISCO on their own, they can't do it, except with the support of the government, doing the right thing, to pump the gas and to distribute the capacity to do that. Because without electricity, we can't go forward much. You see, this morning they were telling us in London that our energy company, they are going to reduce our energy by £100. So we say, okay, it's a welcome development because that's going to be cheaper from next month, blah, blah. But in Nigeria, I don't think they can say it's going to be cheaper next month. It's going to be increased. But people are not getting it. Because without electricity, you can't do much.
Yeah.
Because the SME, they can't perform because we need it. Government should wake up and do the right thing so that DISCO can do their job. DISCO have their own fault by giving estimated billing, which is very bad to people. And like someone really said, there are children that they don't even have access to electricity. How can they cope with their education? You see, it means businesses, it means so many things. With electricity, it will reduce crime. But when it's dark, the criminal will operate under the cover of darkness. You see, that is the problem. There are many people who want to call you now in Nigeria, but they don't have light. They only have radio. which uses battery.
Yeah.
So it is time for government to wake up and make sure it's one of their top priorities about electricity. There is nothing that will plug anything here now in UK. It will be working because the electricity is constant. There is no, if you wrongly plug something that is bad, your meter has the automatic switch off. It will switch off that very socket. You know that what you buy, the appliance is bad. That's all. But light won't go off. But I know we'll still get to that level one day. It might not be now, but it might be this year, it might be next year. But we need a leader who has a vision, who has been visiting overseas, who will see how things work out. Fine. Then we need them. Because in Nigeria now they use torchlight to do operation in the hospital, which is bad. So all these things, they should take it seriously. That's my own view about this issue.
Thank you so much,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Ade.
God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much. And you too. We really appreciate your contribution this morning. Yeah, he talked about something very important when he said, if you plug in something that is not good, your light would automatically switch off, which it happens in my own, home. Like when something is bad and you connect it, to just turn off the light, which means that thing that you're using is actually bad. And when you remove it and then you switch it back on, it comes back to normal. So definitely that is, it's actually, we have it here, but it may not be in every home. Do you understand? But I know that it will get there, that people actually have that access to this quality of electricity. But at the same time, if revoking the license is even the way the best way to tackle these issues. Well, hello, good morning.
Is she still on the line?
Hello, good morning. Well, please do well to, turn off the volume of your TV set when you're calling, because I could hear us talking. The feedback was coming. Well, call us back. If you can't, send us WhatsApp message, which I'm beginning to see, messages coming in. At the same time, Ade also talked about how much the crazy billing for electricity. This morning when I was coming, a woman came out saying that, she received 40,000 and above for electricity bill that she has not been even seeing the light. Where will she get the money to pay? And, that actually caught my attention. Hello, good morning.
How are you?
We are fine, thank you. Your name and location, please.
Usman Liman from Mina, Niger State.
Thank you so much, Usman, for joining us from Mina. What's the electricity situation like in your area?
It's gone from bad to worst.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, the government needs to disband this DISCOS. They are not doing anything. It has gone from bad to... You can see Niger State is one of the energy producing states. Niger hosted 4 hydro stations. And they are producing light for the nation. But we are not enjoying light. I have a prepaid meter in my house since 2010, and I have been recharging, but you don't have light. There's a time we spent almost 9 solid days without light. What was said then was that there's a transformer that the oil is low. And to top up that oil took us 9 solid days, no light. You see, when the government privatized telephone, it got better from Nitel, since despite the fact that Nitel will have been cheaper. But this one now is getting worse. I think what I want the government to do is to ease component of solar, either waive the VAT or other things, so that people individually can purchase the component and make light available in their houses. Now we can say we don't have enough energy, but they are not supplying. As I've said, Niger State hosted 4 hydro stations and they are all working. We have gas turbine and other components that are producing light. But where is light? The light is not there. They are frustrating people, everybody. And the cornerstone for any development is electricity. People need electricity to work. Other components that goes with electricity, these small-scale industries, the government cannot employ everybody. But if people are allowed to work with electricity, they'll be able to generate for themselves and able to train others. So I'm begging the government to disband this DISCO. If they cannot go back to earlier stage when we used to have NEPA, that time it was even better. If they cannot go back there, let them disband this DISCO and let them bring in another set. So that if these people are dismissed, the other people coming in, they will know. And they let them tell them, even those who are coming, let them tell them what they expect. At least in this country now, we need to have, even if we can't have 24 hours electricity, at least 20 hours. Nigeria is a giant of Africa. We cannot continue to beg. We go to other countries, they don't even take light. Talk less of a country like this. Ghana has only 2 hydro stations, only 2, and they have light. Other countries are going to other sources of energy. Let them allow people to get their energy so that at least the economy could grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your take. I can feel
you can feel that rage, you know?
Yes, you know, he's not very angry, but at the same time disappointed
of course,
with what is happening, you know, within his state, being one of the largest contributors to electricity in Nigeria so far. And also he talks about other countries. Imagine if you remember how we used to supply electricity to Ghana, Niger, and, you know, even other countries, and now they are actually doing well for themselves.
It's just so disappointing.
Hello,
honestly.
good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
We are fine, thank you. Your name and location, please.
Okay, I'm calling from Jos, Mr. Malam.
Okay, from Jos. Did you say Mohammed?
I'm Malam.
Okay, go ahead. What's your take? What's happening with regards to electricity in your area with your DISCOs?
Okay, from my time as a youth up to years that I am now, from government holding to bar holding, there haven't been any difference much in improvement. So we don't know why. The only thing is that let government allow private individuals, set up private electric companies that will supply the state. Let it diversify. Maybe the north, central, south, west, and so forth. It should have its own electric companies that will supply electricity to those countries.
Yeah.
And to those states or regions. Then also, apart from that, let us look for alternatives such as solar systems. In other countries, people are coming up with solar systems. Why Nigeria is not able to do that? Let us adopt solar systems and then the one that we are using, and then before we know, we'll move forward. But every day we are in the same thing, years upon years, no improvement. It doesn't go well as a nation, as a country well known. So let us do things that will make sure our country improves in all fields, so that everybody will enjoy the country we live in, and will be true patriots in this country. So God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And now let's take a look at some, WhatsApp messages this morning. This one is coming from, he forgot to mention or add his name. He said, "Good morning, my sister. IBEDC have been doing," I think he's trying to say they have been doing well in his area here in Gamo, but in my local government area in Oke-Oye, that is my hometown, they are not doing well at all, and because of this, people are not happy about it. No day I go home I have ever seen never seen electric or power supply there. So what he's saying is he has not gone home, not for once, and has he seen power supply in his hometown. But in his area, they're actually doing well.
Better.
So, you know, there's a difference between the city and the village. So that is exactly what is happening here. So let's take another one. He said, this is coming from Ahmed chatting us from Kano. He said, Bauchi, for instance, are selling prepared meters to customers, while in the same region, Adamawa State meters are provided free. EFCC and ICPC should deploy all their personnel for the next 6 months to check DISCOS activities. I totally agree with you on that, because, you know, all these sectors need to be checked. It's not just about going after people that you think they are, you know, cyberbullying or cyber scamming people, or, you know, one thing or the other. That's what EFCC, or chasing people doing, you know, without real concrete evidence to some, chasing them and arresting people because they are driving fancy cars and what have you. This is another thing that needs to be looked into. The electricity sector, power sector needs to be checked, especially with DISCOS, what is happening with all the funds and the money that is being given for them, for this DISCOS that were set up in this state, you know, to just tackle these electricity issues. And we see nothing. I mean, imagine people saying 3 months, 4 months, some even 1 year, they have not seen light. I mean, I'm very serious when I said there are communities that have not seen light ever.
And you know, even in this situation, last 2 weeks, there was news that the Minister of Power, Adelabu, is trying, like he said, there is a possibility to remove the remaining, like, subsidy in the electricity tariff. And, you know, that will add more salt to the wound. Of course, already there's no power supply.
We are already facing it.
Yeah,
all this ban A, ban B, and what have you, that we keep paying, and, you know, you're supposed to get electricity for 20 hours for this amount of hours, and people are just paying, and they're not getting value for what they're actually paying
important
for.
aspect, like one important sector that, like,
light, water,
of course,
it's very necessary.
It affects many businesses' lives and what have you.